Let's refine it further. Let's refine it further.
We'll make it mad, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch, where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be beat. Double clutch, we're making that. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch with Mike and Matt. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track.
Let's refine it further.
We Mike and Matt, lead the way.
Let's refine it further.
We're here to stay. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, we're making that. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track.
Let's refine it further. Let's refine it further.
Always on track. We'll make it back. With the clutch, double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track.
Yo, what's good? Welcome to a double clutch, everybody. Appreciate y'all coming out. Apologize for being a little bit late. We were on CPT tonight, but it's gonna be well worth the wait. What's good, homie?
What up, bro? Yeah, man, that's on me, man. I apologize to the people. You know what I'm saying? I apologize in advance, but it's gonna be a good show. We have some
a damn good show, man. Good show, man.
But we back.
Definitely a very relevant topic, relevant conversation. Lots of folks, lots of chatter. Everybody talking about it all around the interweb. So definitely, I felt compelled to speak on it, man.
Yeah, I felt like, we had other things planned, and then it was like, I felt kind of like Stephen A. Smith. Like we was we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. Like this is what we got to change it up because this is what we got to talk about. And it's, you know what I'm saying? It's hot and off the press, and we got to get at it tonight because it's a lot of mixed emotions out there, and I'm just excited to, forewarn to everybody. This is just going to be our take on it, and you know what I'm saying, love it or like it, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
100%. Before we get into the show, though, a few quick promos. So of course, Double Clutch Patreon. If you're not into Double Clutch Patreon, what you waiting on? Join today.
Yes,
man. We have a blast in there, man. We tell y'all every time we talk about it, man. It's all the perks. It's the store credit. It's the additional perks in terms of like things you can win throughout the year, merchandise you can get. Obviously, we got the Discord chat, the IG chat, the Zoom meetings, the voice channels, like all that, man. It's really growing, and definitely super excited about the growth and potential over the future, man, in the coming years, man. So definitely tap in with us in the Double Clutch Patreon. We got 4 different tiers. We got the Joker tier, the Flash tier, Wonder Woman tier, and the Superman tier. A little play off of DC. DC Comics and Double Clutch, same acronym there. So definitely, man, check us out. And also, man, make sure you show some love to all Husbandry.Pro activity. Make sure you show some love to all of it, man. It's as a member of the Patreon, you can get a special discount. But even if you're not a member of the Patreon, we got a discount for you. If you use promo code DC Squad 60, that gets you 60 days free of Husbandry.Pro. Now, this is only applicable for new users and inactive users. New users, self-explanatory. Inactive users, that means you had an account at some point, but you haven't been active in the last 6 months or more. You consider an inactive user. So we would love to get you back to the platform so you too can leverage promo code DC Squad 60 and get you 60 days free Husbandry.Pro. And also make sure you tap into all the Herp Collectors Network shows. We got 7 in total. We got Condro Corner, which is featured here Mondays at 9. But we also got 6 other shows. So make sure you tap in with those, man. Super excited about all these shows. Loving seeing the podcast, the episodes, hearing from the guests they bring on, man. It's super dope, man. So definitely tap in with the Herp Collectors Network. These episodes available on YouTube, and then afterwards you can catch them on major streaming platforms in terms of podcast streaming platforms. So definitely tap in with us, man, for sure.
Yes, tap in on those great shows, great people. Yeah, man, it's been an enjoyment watching the whole network grow, man. So tap in with that, and the Husbandry.Pro. I've been putting in stuff left and right on Husbandry.Pro, putting in my clutches. Just put in the first clutch of eggs inside of there. So like how it tracks the due date for you. You don't really have to go in there opening up the incubator trying to see the card to see when the due date was on those eggs. Just go on the Husbandry.Pro, check it out, see when the due date is. You know what I'm saying? And then you're good. So yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite function of Husbandry.Pro is like that countdown where you see the bar, the green bar. You know what I'm saying? Because I put all mine in there for 60 days, just an easy number.
Yeah.
And so watching that bar get bigger and bigger over the 60 days, man, I love it. Love Husbandry.Pro, man. Been with them for like basically since I got in, man. Like I tried a couple other husbandry apps. Wasn't really my thing. It didn't really jive with me. Saw Husbandry.Pro. I can't even remember where I saw it at, but just I love the interface. And so I got in there, started working with that, and I've been on Team Husbandry.Pro ever since. So definitely tap in with Husbandry.Pro.
Yes, sir. And they're at Tinley Park right now. So if you're at Tinley Park, go over there, shout out, holla at them. And you know what I'm saying? Again, use those codes. DC Squad 60, DC Squad. No, it's just a 60. Yeah, the other one is for when you actually in a Patreon. So yeah.
Yeah, you get the Patreon, you get a little bit more. So definitely tap in. Definitely tap in. Big shout out to everybody in the chat too, man. I see y'all all out here. We got Dwight. What's up, Pie Man in the building? We got Pyro in the building. We got the homie Elias in the building. Told us we was on CP time. Yes, we were. We got the homie Keys in the building. What's goody, fam? Of course, we got the lovely Takara in the building. We got Jamie in the building. What you say? 1 out of like 10 Jamies. It is a lot of Jamies. We got the homie Ash in the building. What's good, homie? Make sure y'all tap in tomorrow night. Herp Collectors Network for Morph Map. We got the homie Ash coming in to talk about malice. It's going to be an amazing episode. If you're not familiar with the malice gene, you definitely want to tap in. But even if you are familiar with it, I guarantee you're going to learn something and you're going to see some very, very, very impressive snakes. So make sure you tap in for that. That's tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got Morph Map. We got Ash from Morph Minded on Morph Map. That's a mouthful, bro. So definitely tap in with our host, Tommy from Inky Clouds, Brian from Heathen Hatchery, and the homie Will from Royal Canadian Reptiles. So tap in for that tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got the homie Justin in the building. What's good?
What's
homie?
up? What up?
Appreciate you coming out. We got you double dipping. We got the homie Brown. We was just talking about him. 352 in the building. What's good, homie?
Yes, sir.
Lock in the building. What's good, homie? We got Eric's More Factory in the building. I see you, bro. Appreciate you coming out. We got Shauna, the Sultaness of Support. Appreciate you coming out. Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in with us. Big shout out to the live chat. Big shout out to the replay game. So, bro, I want to say something before we even get into this conversation. I just want to go in and talk about I'm not going to even say pink elephant, the red elephant in the room. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, yes, I have a red line bias. Robin has done a ton for me, you know what I mean, in terms of sponsorships, helping me out with stuff, making introductions. In fact, 2 of the shows that's on this network is because of connections I made working with Robin. Right. So the Moat podcast hosted by Jess Hustle of Spook. I met Jess at AnimalCon. I was at AnimalCon through working with Robin. Made a lot of dope contacts there. Grow House. I met Veronica in St. Louis, right? Veronica from Ivy Plants and also Palm Street. I met her in St. Louis when we were doing the Redline, NARBC, Palm Street collaboration, right? And so
Yeah.
that's another person I met working with Robin, right? And it's not just me. Robin does a ton, like a ton of stuff for the reptile industry. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Super active in the community, very much heavily involved, super duper triple OG in the game, been in this for a minute, has learned a lot, knows a lot, smart businessman, like all of it, like all those boxes you look for somebody you can call an OG in the game. He's checking off all the boxes. So admittedly, I do have some bias towards Redline, and deservedly so. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of people that deservedly so has bias towards Redline, again, for all those same reasons. You know what I mean? Interacting with people, being involved in the community, helping each other, helping people out. And he does it and doesn't really ask for much in return. Don't really ask for anything in return. He don't toot his own horn. He not standing on the mountain patting his chest saying, I am reptile Jesus, I am saving the reptile world. He's not doing that. He's just helping people out. He be quiet about it, and then he just, you know what he do next? He just go help somebody else out. So Robin is a super legit, super genuine dude. So I would be out of line if I didn't admit to that bias right up front. However, I do want to have an open discussion. I want to have a candid conversation, and I feel it's my journalistic duty to be
Stephen A.
to keep it real with y'all and to be objective. So that's what I'm striving for here tonight. I just wanted to kind of like start off with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, for sure. That's I like that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate my only disclaimer to everybody before we start is please don't look in the background of what I got going on right now, because I'm currently getting rid of some those pet animals I was telling about for the shows and whatnot. So I started packing up one, so the retic is packed up already, so that her cage or his cage ain't up no more. So it's just a mess back here. But yeah, anyway, man, let's dive into this thing, man. Let's
dive into it. Let's
start with the beginnings.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You read my mind, bro. You read my mind. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say let's just start with at least the beginning for us, right? I can't speak for the beginning for everybody else who's been in the game for 20 years. I can really only speak for the beginning for me. Now, when I came in to the game, 2019, wasn't shipping no animals. So really, I didn't really start shipping nothing until 2022, 23-ish. But the leaders of the shipping industry, when I went to Tinley, when it first opened back up after COVID, was Reptiles to You and Ship Your Reptiles. And they were dominating the industry as far as that goes. And they were really the only two people that I knew. I knew they had a booth at Tinley. Ship Your Reptiles had a booth at Tinley. And we ended up going with Ship Your Reptiles when I was at Tinley, and we bought some animals, had them shipped out to us through Ship Your Reptiles, basically based off the connection that we made with Chad, not really Chad. I won't even say him. Susie. Susie to me is like, she's gold. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's gold. She is gold. So her and my wife clicked. She and I clicked. Yeah, it was just something about her aura, her smile. Like, she's a great person. And so that's why we started shipping with them, and we were shipping with them. You know what I'm saying? But that's the beginning for me. It was Ship Your Reptiles, and it was Reptiles to You. Was that how you saw it too when you came in the game?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Ship Your Reptiles, Reptiles to You. I was more familiar with Ship Your Reptiles than I was the other. I don't even remember when I learned about Reptiles Express. That's not to say that there wasn't a significant player in the game, but I'm just.
Oh yeah, is that what it's Reptiles Express? Okay.
Well, it's Reptiles to You, Reptiles Express, Ship Your Reptiles, and Redline Shipping. That's kind of the first four that I was familiar with.
Okay.
And so this is before Morph Market shipping came into the game, but I was most familiar with Ship Your Reptiles. Canova would have them in the video and stuff like that. And so like that's how I became like familiarized with Ship Your Reptile. In fact, the very first time I shipped an animal, I learned about how to ship an animal through watching Chad's video on Canova's channel, where he just broke it down. I watched that thing probably like 10 times, bro, like 10 times. Like I was like super I was nervous about it because it was my first time, and so I was very meticulous about it. Like I watched it like in its entirety several times, and then even as I was packing up the animal and going through the steps, like I was watching it like step by step. So I probably gave them about 50 views on that thing. So yeah, that's what I was familiar with at first, man. And real quick story, since you mentioned Susie, like Susie the shit, bro. Quick story about her. So a few years back, I don't know if you remember Harry from Reptile Lifeline. Rest in peace to Harry. But Harry was a cool guy. I met him at Tinley back in fall 2022. That's where I first met him, and then we started talking on social media and stuff like that. You probably remember the story, but unfortunately he did pass. Like he was a he was a nice dude, man, and a helpful guy who would reach out to people to help them in any way he can. And in fact, like the accident that he was in was as he was helping somebody else. And so super cool guy. Like I said, man, rest in peace to him. But he had a bunch of animals, like a bunch of snakes and stuff like that, and rodents too. And his wife needed to move the snakes, right? Because I mean, she was into snakes, but she went like into snakes like that. So it was too many snakes for her to manage. And so we wanted to do an auction to move some of the snakes, and that's what we were going to do. And so I reached out to Susie at the time, because at the time I was primarily familiar with Ship Your Reptiles, right? So I reached out to her and I explained what happened, and I was like, hey, is there any kind of way we can get some kind of discounted rate that for her so she can move those animals? And Susie was basically like, say less. Boom, it was set up in the system and we had it laid out for her. And so she came to save the day, was super helpful. They actually ended up selling the whole collection. She found a buyer that was going to buy the whole collection, but that doesn't even matter. It's just it's the thought, right? Is the fact that she hopped on it, made it happen. So big shout out to Susie for that.
Yeah,
sure. To your point, when I came in, it was those players, and then Redline came on the scene like a couple years later, and at the time, like still new in the game, still learning stuff about the industry, which I still am. But they came in the game. I didn't know that Chad and Robin used to be partners at one time. And the reason we're going through all this history is just for like anybody kind of coming into this, not necessarily knowing exactly like what's going on, or they don't necessarily have contextualization for what's going on. That's why we're running through it. So it might be repeat for some of y'all, but I guarantee it's going to be somebody who listened to this who don't know all of this. So we do want to run down as much as possible. So yeah, Redline came on the scene. They came in red hot, strong. They came in like on fire, bro. Everybody was rocking the Redline swag. Folks was posting, it was better off red, this, that, and the third. And so like Redline came on the scene hot. And I first start talking to Robin actually last year after the Daytona show. You know what I'm saying? Like we had the setup for the podcast there, and Robin reached out to me and he was like, yo, that's dope what you did. And so we kept talking, and then we eventually start working together on some stuff. And ever since then, man, it's just been on and popping. He's always willing to be like a listening ear for you to bounce ideas off of him. He's always encouraging you to do more. He's always creating circumstances to where you can do more. So that relationship has been super dope over the past, it hasn't even really been a year yet, but it feels like longer than that just because of kind of everything that's transpired since then.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Redline came in, and it was like I was Ship Your Reptiles, and I was with Ship Your Reptiles. You know what I'm saying? But the way Redline came into the game was like so gang member type. Like it was like Cats was at shows, everybody decked out in a red shirt, like school whoop gang. Everybody had on red shirt, red tennis shoes, red everything, and you know what I'm saying. And so it was crazy. So the business side of it that Robin did when he came in with Redline was so great, because so Ship Your Reptiles was always there because it was like one of the originals, you know what I'm saying? But when Redline, even though him and Chad was together, and I didn't know that until after Redline even came out, had never even heard of Robin. But once he came out with it, the way he marketed it was like a community-based shipping company. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of, not saying that Ship Your Reptiles wasn't, but he made Ship Your Reptiles look like they are on the outside. I am for the people, by the people. We are, you know what I'm saying? So it was a whole community of people rocking red this, red that, better off red. They had a slogan. They was doing videos. They was doing tours. They was doing all kinds of stuff. So he shot out the gate so hard and so great as a businessman and as a business. To me, in my eyes, the only thing that was saving Ship Your Reptiles at that point was Canova, and that the fact that they was on Canova's video and they were sponsoring Canova. So of course you're going to get some people that's still going there because of Canova, this, that, and the other, and the how many people he can touch in one video. But Ship Your Reptiles are Redline to me at that moment had taken over the community by force. Like it was by like they just came through rampage. Like no, like it didn't matter. Like they was taking over. They came in to take over, and to me they did at that time. I don't know how you felt about it, but to me they did.
Reptile Fubu for us by us.
Yeah, right. Right. No, he was really for the people though. Like he made you. I mean, you had, and it wasn't like it was just him. I mean, he had the sponsorships. There wasn't a show that you went to that, like Rich from Cap City on the West Coast, he go to every show on the West Coast. So there wasn't a show that you went to where you didn't see a Redline decked out booth from Rich. He got a whole table of Redline gear, the fanny pack strap-ons, the everything. You know what I'm saying? So
Redline really, socks.
Hey, like. And that was the part that it was for the culture. You know what I'm saying? It was like a whole cultural movement, Redline was.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and it is, because some people are still rocking with it. So, you know what I'm saying? That's your choice. But yeah, man, I feel like when he came on the scene with that, he planned it out great. His business approach to it was great because he was offering so many sponsorships. That was the one thing I felt like Ship Your Reptiles slacked on for forever. Other than Canova, I've never seen anybody else say, I'm sponsored by Ship Your Reptiles. Here's my promo code, yada, 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 whatever. But you got Shane Kelly. You had you had Shane Kelly and his following on YouTube. You had Antoine from
High Desert
Python, and his influence not only on the YouTube space, but in the Black reptile space. You know what I'm saying? So you had him. There was tons of people. You had Nicole, Lady Tiss Exotics, and the effect or the impact that she has on the retic world community. You know what I'm saying? And the females in the community as a whole, because she had her podcast going like crazy at that time. So he was very strategic in the way that he did it and came out blasting, got the right people in the right place and had the right people put on this stuff, and the industry rolled with it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt it happened.
Yeah, 100%. So fast forward, what has it been like it hadn't even been quite a full year yet. Like so much has happened. It feels like it's been longer than that, but it hasn't even really been a full year. So fast forward to a few months ago, Morph Market enters the shipping discussion. And not only do they enter the shipping discussion, they enter the shipping discussion with prices that are like 40-50% cheaper than what you can get at any other shipper, depending upon your rate, depending upon the size of the package, depending upon how far the package is going to travel. So they came in super disruptive and basically said, hey, we're going to offer a super big discount. And then the discount that they started with, they just started creeping it up, right? Because I think it started at something like maybe 62 to 65%, something like that. And then it just kept creeping up. Like 1 minute you look up, it was 69%. I feel like that was intentional.
Knowing him, yeah, for sure.
I feel like that was very intentional. That was on brand. And then it went up to like 72%, which is where it's at right now, which is a significant discount, right? especially for a small seller, running a small business, and they may not be making profit or they barely making any profit. And so that was very attractive to those people, right? It's very
Right.
attractive to a lot of people. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, so it's kind of like this. You just did an interview with the legendary, the Cali legend. You know what I'm saying? The real Ricky Rose, the real Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? So you watched the show, right? Did you ever watch the show on Hulu?
Yeah.
Okay. So Snowfall, right? So you watched it. All right. So
I never watched Snowfall. I thought you were talking about the documentary. I ain't watched Snowfall yet, man. I'm so behind on watching my show, man. I ain't seen none of that stuff. I ain't seen Snowfall. I ain't seen Power. I ain't seen none of that.
Oh man, yeah. Okay, so you got to watch Snowfall. I haven't seen the documentary, so I don't know how he breaks it down in the documentary. But on the show, mind you, you're in LA. There's already drug dealers in LA, right? There's already. His method of approach was he came in and with his first shipment gave it to the hood for free. Like he was just out there giving it to them. Because if I could give you a product and you like that product and the product is good, why are you not going to come back to that product and then and use that product? Which is basically, to me, what Morph Market has done. They've come out with a product that's the same product that was already out on the street, but they've given it to you at a much discounted price. And I wouldn't call us fiends, but some of us are scratching like what's his name? Dave Chappelle. Some of us is on that Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying?
More of that Morph Market shit.
You got any more of that? You know, he had, like you said, he's constantly, and the crazy part about that is when he first came out and it was at the 50%, whatever, 60s, whatever, everybody kept saying, oh, well, he's just getting y'all in and he's about to bait y'all and hike the prices all the way up. But granted, they have came out and said they're going to scale it, whatever, according to your package. But he hasn't done it yet. And it's like, it's been a while. It's been a while now. And so it's like, I mean, what do you say to that? What do you do? Like, you know, I don't.
So let's talk about that for a minute, right?
Yeah.
And so I debated about whether, like, at one point in time, I never really wanted to say this publicly, right? Because I didn't really feel it was my place to say. And then even when we first start talking about we was going to do this show, I debated on whether I should bring this part up publicly or not. But what I'm about to say has already been said on a public platform, so I feel I can say it now because it's already been put out there. And so what I'm talking about is kind of the takeover mentality, right? And so what I mean by that, and I have this on great authority. Basically, the conversation was had with a shipper. Basically, hey, do you want to integrate with my platform? I can let you integrate with the platform, but if you integrate, I want to like own a percentage of the company. That's what was told to me. And so the shippers were like, no. And so he was like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm gonna put you out of business. I'm gonna do it myself. Right. And so that's one of the things that a lot of people are kind of like turned off on, right? Yeah, the prices are low now, right? The price is low now. He's publicly said, he's publicly said that they are going to raise the prices at some point, but it's always going to be cheaper than what the other shippers can offer, right? And depending upon the tier you in, you get a different discount, right? And so it's kind of messed up in a way, you know what I'm saying? Like you're intentionally trying to put people out of business, but at the same time, that's business.
That, like I said, if the drug dealer came out and just offered off a whole shipment of dope for free to gain the business of those around them, and then I go up with my prices, of course, because you are on my product now. You know what I'm saying?
Like that's what I mean. They doing that in like there's no business where people not trying to own as much percentage of the market share as possible. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people, like I've seen the videos that people have posted, and you know what I'm saying? I have great relationships with the people that have posted videos that have said their piece in opposition to Morph Market. But like for me, I think it just becomes a personal thing when you know, as far as him saying, okay, you're not going to partner with me, then I'm going to buy you out, right? That's
100%.
that's the same thing Walmart says to the local spots over here. That's the same thing that the bigger pet stores are going to say to the local spots, the local mom and pop shops over here. It is that's just the way business works. You know what I'm saying? If we talk all the time about how people are always trying to say all the time about how people will make stuff and then Canova will come, even if they're not in the project, come swipe it up. They are the bigger business. You know what I'm saying? They could go, if somebody produce right now, if I right now produce a hypo paint DG clown, he's probably the only person that is going to be able to, well, he won't be the only person, but if he wanted to, he could offer me something that I'm just going to be like, okay, he got it. Like, what do you do to that? You know what I'm saying? There's really nothing about it other than it being business. It's just strictly business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's messed up, but like you said, it's strictly business, and that sucks, right? And so you have to do something to counter that, right? Because at the end of the day, business is a competition, right? And so you have to do something to counter that, right? And let's even look at it from this angle too a little bit. So going back to what we said about like these are going to be the prices in the short term, like I really do wonder what the price is going to look like when they raise the prices. And then that statement that I just made about kind of wanting to control like that segment of the industry, it's not only the shipping industry, right? It's other segments of the reptile industry. And so transparently, that's what worries me, right? Like I get the whole vertical integration model, and I get wanting to like have your hand in multiple segments. You can spread overhead across those segments. And especially if you're innovative, you can find ways to do things for cheaper, and you can ultimately pass cost savings along to the consumer, which works out better for everybody, especially in this economy. So I get that. But at the same time, I would be lying if I sat up here before y'all tonight and didn't say or said that I wasn't worried about like one person having like that much control over such a small industry, right? Because if you controlling like the shipping, you controlling like all these other major things, then it's like one person kind of controlling that. And then so now you got to work. Not only can smaller folks not compete, but then everybody else kind of got to get in line, right? You gotta walk a fine line, right? And so like what ramifications does that have? Like maybe I'm just wearing a tin hat, but maybe it's like a legitimate concern. And I do think that that's a concern that a lot of people have.
Well, I think it would go to say, I would say to that, like that to me, that's in every industry, whether it's a big industry or not, right? Like we could sit here and say that everybody in the ball python industry is equal, but we're not, because even Kabelka himself has said he controls the pulse of this industry when it comes to ball pythons. If he's not working a project, that project will never be the top tier project. I don't care what nobody says. You can have something, but if he is not, because he has the ability to touch so many people at any given time, he could put out a video and get 10,000 views in a day, and your project at that moment skyrockets to the top just off of his input. So there's always going to be that person up at the top that can dictate something in this community, whether it be the snakes, whether it be the shipping supplies and this, that, and the other. And I don't necessarily think we all have to fall in line, but I mean, but you may not be, like I said, his projects may be up here at the top, but then there's still those other projects that come in, right? And so if Morph Market takes over the shipping industry, I don't think that deletes Redline. I don't think it deletes Ship Your Reptiles or none of those dudes unless they choose to get out the industry. I just think they have to find their place or even further diversify. their business, because right now we have somebody who is setting up a one-stop shop for everything. And it is so convenient. Like me and you was talking about earlier yesterday, for me to go to Walmart and buy everything I need from Walmart, except for my fruit. I don't
Except
buy
for
my
fruit, dog.
except for except for the fruit. But it is so much more convenient for me to go to Walmart and get everything that I need, even though it's Walmart, and like if I got a local mom and pop grocery store next to me and they got some stuff that I need, then I'll go there. Like I don't get my carne asada from Walmart, or when I want to cook Mexican food, I'm going to the, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you know, they do have everything that I need.
Yeah,
so
and
I don't go ahead.
No, I was saying, I get it too. Like from a business perspective, to me, is smart business, and I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. I mean, you've seen Walmart do it, you see Amazon do it, like you see a lot of like bigger brands. You know what I'm saying? Like they try to increase like their portion of the market share, and it's how it works. So I feel like the narrative, and I've talked to a lot of people about this, right? Like when I'm talking to people, like they talking to me about prices, that's really the first thing that comes up. And I'm not going to say that the shipping service is a fully commoditized service, because I don't think it is. I do think there's some nuances that are different. For example, the customer service, right? I do feel like Redline's customer service is a lot more matured. I feel like a lot of these shipping companies that's been around like 10, 15 years or however long they've been around, yes, I do feel like 100% without a doubt their customer service is probably a lot more mature than Morph Market, because they've been in the game so long. And so once you do stuff, like you learn things, you become more efficient at stuff, all that. So I do feel like their customer service is on a higher level. They got an actual number you can call. You don't have to just email somebody or something like that. So I do feel like their customer service is much more mature. However, when you talk to people, the average person, customer service isn't the first thing that really comes up. The first thing that really comes up is the cost. Like I was talking to somebody today and they were like, hey, I got a snake last week and the seller actually gave me the option of shipping with Morph Market or shipping with another company. He showed me screenshots of the price. The price for the other company was like $111, and the price with Morph Market was, looking at my notes there, $64, right? So that's a huge difference. And this person was like, only had $150 in my bank account, so I had to go with the cheaper price. And I totally get that. I've also talked to people who said, I'm willing to switch to another company if they can show me the difference in price,
the difference,
and what value
what I'm getting with that,
paying for the difference in price, right?
Well,
and so go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, to your question, like even as far as customer service goes, because I'm gonna address Darren's comment too, and thank you for coming in, Darren. We appreciate you for stopping by. You didn't have to stop by, so we definitely appreciate you for stopping by. As far as the customer service goes, like I'm telling you, I was talking, and she's in the chat, so I know she don't care if I call her name, but Tommy, right, we was talking yesterday about an animal that she was getting in, or maybe she was shipping, but I believe it was her. It was either her or Banna who said it, but they were saying that their shipment was coming through Morph Market, and they called them and alerted them about the mishap or the like the whereabouts of the animal before they even knew that the animal was even tracking to be lost. Like they didn't even know anything yet, but Morph Market had called them. So I think, like I would say that we have to look at the fact that even though the shipping part of his business is new, the dude has the biggest bug business there is in the game. Right, you go in that bug business, dude got roaches, hornworms, all that kind of stuff that he's been doing forever. Right, he's the biggest insect breeder that there is in the States, about hands down. So you got to think about, he's been doing the business, he's been doing the customer service, he's been doing all that stuff. All he's done now is just added shipping to it. You know what I'm saying? That's all he's done now. He's just added shipping to it, and so I feel like we can sit here and say, okay, well, he ain't got shipping customer service done, but I mean, he really does, because he has customer service for all these other things that he's been doing. And it's like, you and I both know he's the middleman. FedEx is the people that's running the shipping, and I trust FedEx to get my reptiles where they're gonna go. And if he's giving me a label price, and Takar, if you can, I don't know. One of his first comments was like, he's doing this he is making a profit, right? And so the narrative has been that he's doing this because he has the money and he's losing money. I'm glad he said this, because my mindset has always been, I don't fully believe that he's losing money, because that wouldn't be a smart business move. And
Right.
to me, everything that he's done is business. Like, say what you want about the dude. A lot of people don't like the dude, but the dude is a businessman. And so I can't see him losing money or putting himself in a position to lose money. He got too many employees. He got too many people working for him. And I don't care. I'm not losing no money, for anything. So,
Yeah, and that's where I was going with it too a little bit. In terms of, I've heard stories, like going back to the story you just told about Tommy, but I've heard stories from people who ship with multiple shippers, and I've heard both good and I've heard bad. So I feel like it's going to be good and bad with everybody. But going back to the cost for the end user, most people going to really focus primarily on the cost, right? Because if you look at 100% of shipments, the number of kind of exceptions to shipment is relatively small, regardless of who you go with, because oftentimes the exceptions, based on my understanding, now it might be some nuance that I don't understand, but the exceptions come into play once FedEx gets involved. And then it's like how you react to the exceptions and what can you do, what kind of phone calls you can make, stuff like that. But by and large, the number of exceptions is a small percentage, right? But every time you pay, that's what people send the most, and so that's what they're gonna focus on the most, especially like when the margins already being thin. And so, like, I understand people coming at it from a cost perspective, right? Just because it makes sense for their bottom line at the end of the day. And so I totally get that stance, right?
Yeah. So I got a question for you. What do you think, as far as, because I have heard, especially so when we talking about rates, right? Because nobody can beat his rates right now. It's like Walmart with the rollback sign on them, and you can't go no lower. You can't beat it, right? So I've heard from people who have sponsorships, or even those who don't have sponsorships, from, say, a Ship Your Reptiles or a Red Line, right, who are getting massive discounts, right? And I think Nixon Reptiles said it earlier, but people are getting massive discounts on the backs of the regular consumer and customer. So if I ship with them, okay, my 12 by 9 by 6 box might be $85. When if I ship it with Ship Your Red or with Morph Market, it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, might be $45. But that margin is made up because they're getting a discount, but I'm not getting a discount. So it's like,
are you talking about people who sponsored by some of the?
Well, even those who aren't sponsored, I've heard that they get, if you
the volume guys. Yeah. So Robin touched on this on Chris show the other day. So basically,
well, no, they're not even that high volume. I get the volume people, but not even high volume people. I'm talking about like if me or you.
Oh, I can't speak to that. I ain't got that.
Well, because that's the narrative that a lot of people are feeling. I know that I feel, and I'm just be, you know what I'm saying, because I don't have no allegiance to nobody. So everybody just understand, I ain't never been sponsored by nobody. Ain't nobody put no money in my pockets. But it comes to the point to where, as a consumer, because we are consumers of their products, bottom line, most people feel, if this dude has been doing this over the last 5-6 months of offering these ridiculous prices, and he's not losing money, how long have you been overcharging me for a shipment that was going to the next state, to California, that cost me $70, and I just shipped one to California last week, and it cost me $18 to ship.
I will say I wouldn't call it overcharging, and this not me inserting my bias here. This just me having spoke to people, right? So I think one of the bigger
Yeah.
things too is the overhead, and Darian even spoke to this in the comment, right? They're doing it with less people, and so it's less overhead. Like once you factor in like what you actually pay the person, then you factor in like what you got to pay, like the taxes piece, you factor in benefits, like all that kind of good stuff. All that stuff start adding up over multiple people, right? It's not just as simple as hiring somebody and then paying them what you agreed to pay them. It's other costs associated with payroll outside of just what you paying to that employee. And so I think overhead is a piece of it, right? And so they having to cover overhead as well. And so it's not that they overcharging, is they are charging enough to cover that overhead and then still make a profit. Every business is created to make a profit. Otherwise, I mean, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of time, it's a lot of energy going in it. So you do want to make a profit, right? So I'm not gonna say overcharging, but I feel like kind of the solution now, to get like to a solution oriented discussion is, if to be able to compete with those costs, you're gonna have to find ways to cut costs. And kind of like I don't know, because I'm not in the shipping business. I haven't seen it in the contract, so I admit to like all my ignorance there, but I do understand like costs. And so in order to be able to compete, you're gonna have to cut costs somewhere, right? Because that's the number one thing that's on people's mind. I mean, and I hate to say it, because like it sucks to see like something like this with somebody like you really have a lot of love for, a lot of respect for, and a lot of admiration for. But bottom line up front is cost is gonna have to be something that's addressed. And it's cost and convenience too, right? Cost and convenience, because that's a big thing. Like I've even had people say to me, if it was the exact same price, I would still go with Morph Market because it's so much more convenient. So you got to address the cost and the convenience. And so got to find a way to do that. I don't know if it means like folks pulling their resources and coming together and saying, hey, because I do think is a lot of value in having multiple players in that industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. You got to cut costs.
Yeah,
I got distracted by the comment.
That to me though just goes back to business and how you run your business and how efficient you are at being a businessman. If I could do the same thing as you, and you need 12 people to do it, and I only need, who is this calling? Oh, my brother calling. And I only need 2 people to do it, then either my people are more efficient than you, or you're adding in a bunch of legs that don't need to be added in. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I'm just texting my brother. You can go ahead. No, I'm just texting him back real quick. Let me let him know.
Okay. But yeah, that's my solution. Like I don't know exactly how you do that, but I do feel like it's gonna have to be an innovative way to pull stuff down. And then you got to address the convenience part of it as well. Because that's one of the things they've been doing is leveraging. That's why I don't pay attention to the comments, because I get distracted like crazy. But leveraging the platform that they already have established is making it like super convenient for people too. Like based on the feedback that I've been getting.
Look at it like this, because now we're about to transfer over into this green check thing. So let's
we got to
talk about the convenience. Let's talk about the convenience of this, right? So let me put this back up here so I can see the comments scrolling. So the convenience of it, right, is that when I put an animal on buy now, meaning that I've already factored in the shipping, or because shipping is, here's the crazy part, because shipping is so cheap, like really it's like, okay, I might go up $20 extra on the animal than what I would normally price it at, versus having to go up $70 on the animal, or put shipping costs at $65 or whatever, because people like when it says free shipping. I don't care what you say. If it say free shipping on it, your eyes are drawn to it better. And because it's so cheap, for me now, I just moved everything to free shipping. But when you put it on buy now, people click on the buy now button, and it basically gives you that opportunity to even reject their attempt to even buy it, right? So I got a guy, he clicks buy now, and I go in, I can look at his Morph Market and be like, okay, he's a buyer who's been credited. Cool. I'm gonna accept his offer. Accept his offer. His money comes to me. A message goes to both of us. I'm like, cool, you just bought this animal. And I don't even have to ask now for the shipping address because their shipping address comes right to the message. And all I got to do is push create a label. And then all I got to do is pay for the I don't have to put in nothing, bro. Like it's like 3 clicks and I done bought the label, which could be bad because that's like, I'm just clicking. I'm just clicking buttons. Ain't no telling what I'm spending. If he buy, ain't no telling what I'm spending. But it's so convenient though, bro. It's like it's so it's like I don't. He's made it. Like I said, he's made it a one-stop shop, and he's made it like you're walking through that fast lane, and you got the 10 items or less, or the express lane, you got the 10 items or less, and that convenience for people is a lot because nobody really in this hobby that even has this as a business and registered as an LLC, whatever, most of them, 95% of them still got a regular day job. You know what I'm saying? I got other stuff I got to worry about. You know what I'm saying? And so I really don't have time to be hopping from Morph Market back to red line through the red line screen and figure out, okay, this is shipping address. Let me copy and paste this over here. Let me check to make sure I got the numbers right. No, it's all in one spot and it comes to me and they verified it and put in their own shipping address where they want the FedEx hub to be and all that. So, I mean, it's business. Like I don't really know what to say about it, other than it's a great business.
Yeah, like cost and convenience is what it boils down to for a lot of people. And so like I totally understand like where they're coming from. Like I'm 100% like team Redline, and I disclosed that at the beginning, but at the same time I did want to have an objective conversation, and I can't have an objective conversation if I put my head in the sand and act like I don't understand where people coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if it's the best long term, you know what I'm saying? But most people not even looking at long term. They're looking at the here and the now, because I mean the way the economy set up, the way people day-to-day lives set up, the way these animals set up, and you have like all these responsibilities. A lot of times people not even like thinking about all that, you know what I'm saying? Like they just want to they want their animals to get there safely, and they want it to be as cheap as possible. You know what I mean? And from their perspective, they don't see it, right? Like I keep getting the exact same feedback from everybody. And it's one of those things, man. It definitely sucks, but it's one of those things. So you brought up the green check mark, but we hadn't really got into it yet. I do want to talk about the green check mark. What's your thoughts? I want to get your initial thoughts on the green check mark.
So green check mark pops up on my screen. You could be part of, you know what I'm saying? Had a green check mark and this, that, and the third, and become a verified seller with Morph Market, right? And so I'm reading through it, trying to get the gist of it. I even talked to, like I said, I was on the phone call yesterday morning with Tommy, Nate, Banner, some other cats, and we was talking about it as well, going through it. Shout out to Tommy Inky Klaus, but we was just digesting like what it really, because I'm verified. I got the green check mark. When I read through it, I didn't see nothing that was going to take me away from doing what I've already been doing. And so you do got to be on there for a year, right, to get the green check mark. Or you do have to have an account for a year. You do got to have shipped 5 animals or something like that before you get the green check mark.
Yeah, 5.
And so I feel like I think a lot of people are taking the green check mark the wrong way. The green check mark to me just means I'm a verified seller through Morph Market, right? And that if you buy with me, that animal that I send you through Morph Market has an insurance cap on it that Morph Market is going to pay for, right? Which is business, right? They have said, okay, if Matt is going to ship a $2,000 animal, we're going to cover it for up to $1,000. If Matt screws up and does something stupid, Morph Market is going to pay for Matt's stupidity because they are the ones who verified Matt of doing it, right? And so I think people are taking it like, oh, well, you can only sell with Morph Market. I mean, guys, there's ways around every single system that's ever been done. There's a loophole in everything. Like just, I don't know how easy. Everybody's phone number is on Morph Market. If you don't want to ship to that person, message them. After they message you and inquire about an animal, message them on their phone number and then talk to them about the animal and ship with whoever it is that you want to talk about. Like you don't have to ship through Morph Market, but they are saying if you're going to ship through us and get this green check mark, I think it's a great business move by them because they're saying, why would I verify and insure somebody else's animal? Why would I insure Redline's animals and ship your Reptiles animals if they're not shipping through me? You're taking your business elsewhere. So no, I'm not going to insure your animals. All the green check mark means is that they're insuring my animals to a certain percentage when I ship off my animals. That's all they're doing. They're giving the buyer some confidence to buy with me because they're going to insure them. Now, does that give me a boost up? Yeah, because the buyer now has more comfortability with me as long as I'm shipping it through Morph Market. You know, I'm not mad at them for doing like you. I don't know how you can really get mad at them for doing that when again it's just a business move. Like I would have did the same thing.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
It's smart business, and I can't argue that. Again, going back to being objective, to me, like that's smart business. That's something that you would see done elsewhere. It just makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, why not try to lock in your revenue stream? It just makes sense. And I get why people are upset in terms of Shane actually made some really good points in his video. If you haven't seen that, definitely go check that out. Fall Town Exotics. But I get why people are upset, you know what I'm saying, that they've been shipping for X amount of years and now some Johnny newcomer can come in there and they only been shipping for 1 year, 5 packages, and they got a green check mark, and all of a sudden to the average new person they look more legit than somebody who doesn't have the green check mark but they've been shipping for a long time. You're gonna have some people who read the reviews, but let's be honest, most people are lazy. That's why these companies work to make things as easy as possible for people.
Yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
the average person coming in, I mean, don't know nothing really about the industry, just kind of want to get a snake. They see the green check mark, they're gonna feel better about that green check mark than somebody without the green check mark, especially if they're not doing their due diligence. Yes, you can go through the reviews, which in order to get the green check mark, you have to have at least a 4.5 star rating.
Yes,
I do want to mention that. But you see the green check mark, you're probably gonna feel better. I mean, green is a color that make people feel good. It's a check mark. It's good to go. The site's providing this, then that person look legit. So I get the concern there. Is it gonna like tank people's sales? I don't know. I don't know if it's that serious, especially if you got the good reviews and you're doing other things. Because at the end of the day, you can't put all your eggs in the Morph Market basket. Shane made a really good point about that as well. You got to diversify your portfolio in so many different ways. You got to get your name out there in so many different ways, whether it's through social media, whether it's through any of these other spaces in which you can do so. And so you can't put all your eggs in the Morph Market basket anyway. And to be honest, the green check mark probably not gonna sway somebody who looking to spend like some real money. It's gonna sway somebody who looking to spend $100.
Right. Yeah, it is. It really is going to, it's really for the beginner coming in. Like, again, the dude is a businessman. Morph Market is a business, people. It's like the problem is people get so emotional and I understand we have friendships, we have, you know what I'm saying, everybody meets up and goes to dinner at shows and all this kind of stuff and everybody talks. At the end of the day, it's a business and the dude is running a business. So if I'm going to offer you shipping rates at 72% discount, I got to bring in more business. You know what I'm saying? I got to make 100%. All this make sense. You know, it all has to make sense. So I'm going to, okay, how can I, as the owner of this business, make this business more money? Okay, let me pass out some green check marks. Cool, because I'm going to give me mine. I'm gonna get mine and I'm gonna ship through you. That's all. Like, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and ship mine. Well, hey, here's what it is. I'm gonna ship mine through you. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, my last 16 have been with Morph Market and I have not had an issue. But saying that, I haven't had an issue with any shipping ever. Like, I've never had an issue with any shipping. They've all except for one was like it got delayed one day or something like that. But I've never had an issue with any shipping. But like I said, those green check marks though are just insurance for the buyer, and it just gives the buyer peace of mind. Now, should we be diversified? Like you saying that Shane said, yeah, for sure. You should have your animals up on Husbandry.Pro. You should have your animals up on your Facebook, your Instagram, all that kind of different stuff. I don't think that Like Elias said on there, got me cracking up. Wait till y'all get mites or something from some new breeder. Like that is when that is on right with a check mark. But that is again you have to have a 4.5 rating, right, to get the check mark. You can't just be Johnny Newcomer and say I want the green check mark and you haven't been rated, right? So if you get some good shippings and nobody's said anything about you negative, okay then, because you pretty much got to have 5 stars all the way through in order to average a 4.5. So or above. So if you get 5 good ratings and then you on there for a year and you're able to get that check mark, granted, do people make mistakes or get mites and don't have them? Hell, 5-year, 10-year breeders can get mites. Trust me, I done bought stuff from people and they said, oh, well, wait a minute, I got mites. Now, if somebody's shipping it, knowing that, then that's another thing. But it's a part of the reptile hobby. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And so I just think we got to remove emotion and operate, as far as me, operate as a business.
Yeah,
and,
I agree with that 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I agree with that 100%. You definitely got to remove emotion and think about it from a business mindset. And I feel like because Jamie made this comment and I agree with this 100%. Like competition is great for any market. It keeps folks honest. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be a situation to where there's a monopoly or there's like really no one else can really hardly survive in it and then it become like a duopoly or something like that. I feel like competition is great. It keeps people competitive and having to innovate, and at the end of the day it works out better for the customer, right? If there's competition in the market. So I want to see these shipping companies respond and come out with something and be able to gain back a lot of the folks that they have lost, not because I wish any ill will on Morph Market, but because I want it to be a competitive market.
A competitive market, yeah, for sure. But the thing about it is, it's like, for me, I want the same exact thing that you just said. Like, I want it to be, nobody hate, like, even when the Patriots was winning all them Super Bowls, like, everybody hates when somebody's at the top for that long, right? You know what I'm saying? We want it to be competitive because that keeps everything fair and it keeps everything right. You know what I'm saying? I think the problem with it is it's just like, we've seen these prices for so long, and now that they've dropped, it makes everybody question, well, why didn't these other guys drop their prices a
100%.
long time ago? Or why haven't these other guys come out and spoken up on why it is they haven't dropped their prices, or what's the reason it is? Because for the lame mind like myself, the regular dude, Joe out here, who knows nothing about the shipping industry, all I know is that my business needs to profit. Can you please explain to me, like you said, your buddy told you, hey, show me where it is that this price gap is, where you're making up in that price gap and why I should be spending with you. But like we said in the beginning, Redline came in so hard and it really made Ship Your Reptiles disappear. Like it made them disappear, right? Now, Morph Market has come in and it's really made the both of them even disappear even more. And like I said, I felt like Ship Your Reptiles was hanging on by a thread.
They disappear now. Like we getting out of here.
well, it's making everybody tight. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? They might not have disappeared, but it's making everybody tight, right? You're right. They haven't disappeared, and I don't want them to disappear. I want them to come back. You know what I'm saying? And be more innovative. Like, to me,
we all win if that happens.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And we're all, I mean, that's what you do as a breeder. You come out with a triple visual. Oh, okay. What I'm supposed to do now? Just stop breeding? No, I'm gonna come out with my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, competition breeds the greatness, and that's what makes people great. Like, if they come back with something, Morph Market's only going to have to come back with something better, and they're going to, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think, anybody should just, you know what I'm saying, walk away from the business but we'll see.
And not saying that they are, dude, just to clarify for somebody who might misinterpret that. Like, we're not saying that they are. We're not saying that any of these people are going to go out of business. What we're saying is we want to see that competition because it's good for the industry. It's good for us.
Yeah, and again, like I said, I'm not sponsored by nobody. Ain't nobody getting no. I'm only talking from my own personal experience and how I feel, because I can't talk for nobody else. And you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. So a lot of times I just got a snake from Ship Your Reptiles. You know what I'm saying? Hey, like everybody, that's the thing. Everybody can choose whatever it is that they want to choose because it's their business. You know what I'm saying? And
You must
so,
have picked up something from KG.
right, right, exactly. But I just,
That LC.
you just gotta, do mind your business about your business. That's really all it comes down to. You know what I mean? But no, like I said, I think a lot of people getting it twisted about the green check mark, and that is, I don't think that is killing those breeders who have been around for a long time and are like, nah, I want to ship with this dude or that dude. I don't think it's doing that. Honestly, I don't. But do I think that it helps breeders that are using it? Yeah, I do. I do think that it helps because it gives people that assurance, and everybody wants that assurance.
Yeah, and
Now,
I get that. And then, like I said earlier, I still believe that it's a certain segment of like the customer base who that green check mark, it weighs more heavily with them than with others. Because I'm not gonna go on Morph Market looking for a green check mark because I know what I want when I'm hopping on Morph Market, and I probably got a good idea of who might have it. You know what I mean? And then if I do come across somebody who got something like what I want or work with what I'm looking for, I know how to do my due diligence, right?
Right.
Like, I'm asking myself like all the important questions. Have they been on clutch conversations? If that's just no, you got a little red X. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. But and the thing is, it's like the for guys like us, like you said, I'm not looking for that because the snakes that I'm trying to buy, if I'm buying them on Morph Market, that green check mark insurance ain't covering them animals, no way. So
100%.
it is built for. I just want people to look like for me. To me, it was built in for the new breeders, or not even new breeders, the customers coming in that are buying their one-off animals. It's a $500 and $1,000 insurance. That's what the green check mark means. It is not insuring your animal that you just bought from Canova for $7,500. It's not doing that.
Not at all. And you kind of have to do things to cater to that market too, right? What I've noticed in terms of foot traffic on Morph Market is it's a lot of newer people coming on, you know what I mean? Like they only been on the platform for 12 months or less. They may be rated like a level 1 or a level 2. And so having like, because I know they put in a lot of money in terms of advertising and getting it out there in front of new and different people. And so once you get those people there, you got to do things to make them more comfortable with staying there and buying stuff on the site and really trusting the platform, because otherwise you just threw all your money out the door. You got them there, but now they there and it's they don't know what to expect, like they overwhelmed and stuff like that. So it is a smart way to give those people more confidence when they're buying. That's smart. I can't even argue with that.
Yeah. And that person looking for the green check mark this week, a year from now, ain't looking for that green check mark. You know what I'm saying? When they ready to level up and buy something, they like, oh, okay, I got 2 or 3. Now let me go ahead, and I done watched a few YouTube videos. I know these guys, they ain't got green check marks though, but I know, well, I got the green check mark, so I can't say me, but I know Herp Collectors. You know what I'm saying? They might not got the green check mark, but I've been around now in the game for a year, and I didn't see his YouTube videos. I know he's legit.
That's what I had just said too. Car, you bring that comment back up. Appreciate you. Yeah, that's what I just said. Is so many new people. You got to do things to cater to them, because you want them to stay. At the end, you want retention, so you want them to stay. So you have to do stuff that caters to that.
Yeah. I'm all. I mean, I'm all for it. You got to make to say that the website shouldn't make the customer comfortable is like saying I should just show up to the expo this weekend and just say buy the animal before you even have a conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to make you feel at ease. I'm going to assure you that my product is good and that I'm reputable. And I got my banners and they got my Morph Market link on there. So you can go ahead and see that and look at my ratings. You can look at my Instagram. I'm going to give you verification that what you're about to do and the purchase that you're about to make is well worth it. That is what the green check mark to me is doing.
This is what I
You
just said too. At this point, I think Darren just rehashing my talking points now.
He just copying you now.
Stop copying
man. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
nah,
exactly.
I mean that makes sense. So I totally understand that. Also, in all seriousness.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to touch on this subject?
Nah, man. I just, I just thought it was something we needed to talk about because everybody been, saying a piece about it. As for me, I just think that you got to do what's best for your business at some point. You know what I'm saying? We all have our loyalties, which, look at these NBA players. Hell, there's no such thing as loyalty no more. You know what I'm saying? It's a business. It is a business move. Like I said, I just think it's opened up our eyes to a lot. And I know a lot of people fear, okay, well, what if these other guys get out and then what if to ship a box to the next state then is $100? Somebody else will come along then and drop the prices again. Somebody, like, nobody's going to sit there. Somebody's going to be like, oh, shoot. This dude he bamboozled all of us. Let me come in now and you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Like, it's that don't make that, to me, that don't make business sense for him to do that. So, but I mean, I enjoyed talking about it, man. I enjoyed the comments. Y'all went crazy in the comments, man. I appreciate y'all.
They went real crazy
so
in the
active
comments,
tonight.
man. I feel like every comment was about the show. And I love that, man.
Yeah.
Just we was gonna have a show, and we still gonna have a show, but we was gonna have a show talking about podcast do's and don'ts. But I never even thought about it because I was thinking about it from the host and from the guest perspective, but also from the chat perspective as well. We're still gonna have an episode, man. So make sure y'all tune in for that. That'll probably be the next episode. And we got another one lined up after that. But yeah, man. To be honest, bro, I'm not gonna even hold you. Like, this is probably like one of the hardest episodes I've had to do. And I touched on it at the beginning.
Right.
I love Robin. I highly respect Robin. I got a lot of admiration for what he's done, and I appreciate everything he's done. However, and not even however, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm conflicting with that initial statement. We still needed to talk about like this whole shipping thing. And again, I feel it's my journalistic duty to have an objective conversation about it. Otherwise, I'm discredited because they're gonna say, "Oh, he's just having bias." You know what I'm saying? And so I don't want to discredit my voice. You know what I mean? So like I said, this was a hard conversation. But I'm definitely glad you convinced me to do this episode, man, because we needed to talk about it. It's an uncomfortable conversation. We built our whole Double Clutch brand off of having the conversations that people don't want to have. So we got to stick by that, stand 10 toes down on that. So that's my objective opinion on that whole deal. Like, I understand where everyone's coming, you know what I'm saying, with their stance. I understand the emotional connection. Like, I understand all of that. And I agree with that. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I've been in those shoes, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't tell y'all this, but when y'all was in the chat talking about Morph Market shipping, like, I'm low-key getting mad, bro. Like, God, I'm so tired of hearing about this shit. Like, I'm low-key getting mad, bro. And so I definitely understand the emotion because I've certainly been there. But I also understand the business sense aspect of it as well. And that's what I felt like we need to come over here and address. I'm hoping the best for all 5 shipping companies out there. I want to see the competition. I want to see a healthy market. At the end of the day, I want what's best for the reptile community, not just myself, but for the whole reptile community. So definitely want to see the competition. This was a great episode, bro. Glad we had it. Glad you pushed me on this one. Yeah.
Chat, man, y'all have been great. A lot. We're gonna have to ban the lives. We're gonna ban. You got to be banned. You got to be banned. But it's been good. And again, Darren, thanks for coming in, man. And you know what I'm saying? You get a lot of heat, but that's I mean, so does Canola. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know what I'm saying?
Let me stop before I get canceled.
When you are, you know what I'm saying? When you're at the pinnacle, so to say, in some things, you know what I'm saying? LeBron, you know what I'm saying? Jordan is not at the pinnacle.
Oh my goodness.
LeBron,
so thank y'all for coming out. Be blessed. Peace.
Oh, shit. Get this man off the camera. He's delusional. Get him off the camera. Oh, man. It happens. You know what I'm saying? LeBron get a lot of hate, man. He up there at the top, man. So it is what it is. That you know, everybody sees your you're wrong from their perception when you're in the one. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, but that's the same thing everybody does to Canova. You know what I'm saying? And love it or hate it, you know what I'm saying? His thumb scrolls the ball python market, which is what we're in. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? So.
For sure. Yeah, we can make that happen.
But he said, oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We can definitely make that happen. I'll shoot you a text. But yeah. That's gonna be it for tonight, man. Really appreciate y'all coming out, tapping in with us, man. It's always fun. We always like to keep it real with y'all, man, and that's what we did tonight, man. So definitely appreciate y'all tuning in, all the comments and stuff. I love seeing everybody's views, thoughts, opinions, all that good stuff. But that's it for tonight. So for Double Clutch on Mike, it's the homie Matt. The lovely lady behind the scenes is Takar. Thank y'all for coming out. Be blessed.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Doses.
With Mike and Mac, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch where passion meets. From the start to the top, you can't be beat. Double clutch, with Mike and Mac. Double clutch, it's very set. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. With Mike and Mac, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be beat. Double clutch, with Mike and Mac. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Always on track. With Mike and Mac, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch, where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be beat. Double clutch, with Mike and Mac. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Always on track. Always on track. With Mike and Matt, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be beat. Double clutch, with Mike and Matt. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. With Mike and Matt, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch